Hi, thank you for joining us today. As we count down towards the Latentview Analytics Roundtable, I'm very excited to be in conversation with Mr. Henry Bzeih, Global Chief Strategy Officer of Mobility, Transportation, and Automotive at Microsoft. Glad to have you, Henry. Welcome to the conversation.
Well, thanks for having me, Vivek. Glad to be here. Thank you.
So, Henry, the upcoming roundtable, we are exploring the topic around data silos and how we break those silos and leverage data to its fullest. And one of the things is data democratization. A lot of organizations are focusing on it and trying to help both data practitioners and non practitioners. What has been your experience in this space, if you can share something with us?
No, absolutely. So my experience here, in terms of what I see in the ecosystem, definitely you could see a bit of fragmentation in how data is handled. So collection of data is at large has been a mature process. When you talk about automotive, for example, we use that as an example. The automotive industry, connected vehicle, tons of data is being collected, and a lot of it is ingested into various aspects of the back end of that OEM, whether it's on-prem, whether it's public cloud, what have you, or hybrid. The one issue I notice or observe is even with that, there is a bit of a challenge what to do with this data. And this is an area in which I think some are ahead of others in terms of where they are in their journey to capitalize on this data coming in and creating value from it, right? So it varies in scale in terms of where everyone is in their journey. Now, at the end of the day, generally speaking, you see a siloed approach to data still, even today. And the only way to really move past that is to break down those silos into a cohesive way of bringing it together in order to create value. Where does that come from? It comes from very clear and very concise and very well vetted use cases, right? These have to drive that. A solution to drive that, can come from companies like, Latentview, and you guys already have examples of that already with the work you're doing with some of the OEMs, for example. Now, ultimately, once we have corrected or really improved on the current situation of breaking down the silos within an organization or within an entity or within a company, the larger challenge comes in which, okay, can we now share data beyond the firm, right? Beyond the entity. And ultimately, the way I see it, this is the biggest challenge as well, because now you are working with the policies and the decisions are made in a larger ecosystem, and this is where it gets really tough. But if we think about like what this would do if we did share this data, and you think about mobility and mobility as a service, if we are truly believers in this mission of mobility or mobility as a service, I can only see it really taking shape is by this larger ecosystem sharing strategy. And multimodally, you think about automakers, mobility provider, service providers. You're thinking about the connected city or connected place. You're thinking about public transportation. Think of the journey of a customer from point A to point B, which can involve driving their own vehicle to, taking public transportation, to using mobility services, to actually along the way taking advantage of retail services. I mean, there's so many different things that can be done throughout this journey, and it can be done seamlessly if we have that ability to have that data sharing strategy in place, because that's the only way it can be done. Now, obviously, we need to be mindful of the whole notion of privacy and making sure we protect people's right not to be monitored, or the right to be tracked, if you will. Like, so we need to really think about ways that we could do this, and some at the same time also protect the privacy and the choice of a customer or a given customer. But ultimately, we do need to reach that ultimate goal of creating full full mobility through this larger sharing of the mobility ecosystem.
Very true, Henry, and pretty interesting topics for us to continue the conversation during the roundtable.
Yeah.
Uh, so, thank you so much, Henry, for providing your view, and looking forward to continuing this as part of the panel. Uh,
Yes.
and for the folks who are watching us, please do join us to listen more perspectives and views from our panelists at the upcoming Latentview Analytics Roundtable on February 3rd in San Francisco. Hope to see you there. Thanks, Henry, once again, and looking forward to meeting you soon.
Thank you, Vivek. Likewise, looking forward to it.
Thank you.